A report shows home affordability is better now than in the years prior to the housing bubble, and all 31 of the nation's top banks passed the first round of the Federal Reserve's stress test. Ahead on Monday's News Wrap. The national mortgage payment to income ratio sits at 21%, according to Black Knight's January 2015 Mortgage Monitor report released today. The report notes that despite 2 years of home price increases at the national level, affordability is better now than it was in the years prior to the housing bubble. This is due primarily to the current low interest rate environment. The payment to income ratio now stands above the 26% average seen during the 2000 to 2002 period, just prior to a drastic increase in home prices. Washington, D.C., Hawaii, and Alaska are all less affordable areas now than in the pre-bubble years. In Washington, D.C., the current payment to income ratio is 40%, which is lower than the 62% ratio shown at the peak of the housing bubble. Michigan, Texas, and Florida currently have ratios under the national average, with Michigan having a low ratio at 16.9%. The payment to income ratio in California is 32.5%, second only to Washington, D.C. All top 31 banks in the U.S. passed the first round of the Federal Reserve stress test, according to data released by the Fed. Banks were tested under a hypothetical scenario which featured a deep recession with unemployment peaking at 10%, a decline in home prices of 25%, a stock market drop of nearly 60%, and projected loan losses totaling $340 million for all the banks combined. Results showed the combined banks' aggregate Tier 1 common capital ratio would fall to 8.2%, which is above the Fed requirement of 5%. You can check out these stories and all the latest happenings in the industry right here on our site. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again on Tuesday here at the MReport.com, your source for the latest news and strategies in the evolving mortgage market.